So this is video log number 5. Well, I'm not really sure if it actually is video log number 5 because I think they're all out of order at this point, but it is about how I'm feeling about my group, and my research group, and our research focus. Also, I don't know when this video log was actually supposed to be done in the process, but thus far I'm feeling pretty good about my group and my research focus. I was a little hesitant and nervous after we switched the group, switched the whole assignment, and changed everything up. But I'm feeling much better about the changes because it's a little bit less work for us, and I appreciate the time in class that we get to actually work on things because I don't have a lot of time outside of class to get everything done. So at this point, we just had our first in-class opportunity to work on the research project, and it was very helpful. We got a lot done, I think. We already had a lot done from the first just meeting that Julie and I had with Becky and Andy because Marie wasn't there that week. But we got a lot done, which was great. And so far we have started making the PowerPoint, and we have something on every single slide. There are a few slides that are finished. Most of them have to be tweaked a little or just revamped entirely, but at least we have ideas on every single slide, and some of them are finished. I think that with another just time period in class when we get to work on it, we'll have all of it laid out, and then I can just put in the minor changes that need to be made. But what I really am glad that I've been able to keep all of the supplies together, and I get to hold on to all of the materials that we've had. So I've got all the papers since we started with all the assignments and our notes, and I have the PowerPoint on my computer, and it really just makes me feel better as an overfunctioner and a type A person to have it all in my hands, because I know that I won't lose it, and I know that I have everything that we've talked about, and I have everything that Julie and Marie have said. I've made sure that it's all in one place and all put together. So it just makes me feel better to be in control of that, to have that little bit of power, because I trust that there's no way I'm going to lose it. And it just makes me feel a little bit better to have it in my hands. So, but I think that we're splitting the work pretty evenly. I'm glad that we get to work on it in class because it ensures that no one is going to do all of the work. And this week we are each supposed to find an article. I'm going to send out a reminder on Saturday or Sunday this weekend just to find an article that can apply to our research, and then if all three of us bring that in, we'll have the article component knocked out of the way, and then we'll have time in class next week to finish up, or at least make sure that we have all the correct information on the slides, and then I can play with the order and the design and the transitions and everything, if need be. So I'm feeling good about our research. I think that we're pretty well organized and on track. Our topic is pretty cool. It's on facilitators, specifically on the difference between the agent and the target identity facilitators and how they handle triggers. So we really narrowed down our focus from facilitators in general to looking at the differences between the two identity groups to specifically looking at triggers within these two identity groups in the focus and context of new student dialogues. So I'm feeling good about how we really focused in on and narrowed down our question. And that slide is the one that is completely perfect and looks sweet and organized and clean. So I think that it's really interesting. When we switched all our groups up, I was not feeling good because my group had done a lot of work already, and we had set deadlines, and I felt very organized how that was going. And then when we had to pick new groups, I was worried about picking a new topic and starting all over again. But I found it interesting that each of our groups thought about the facilitators as their research focus, because last year when we started the spring semester, we talked a lot about the different topics that we were interested in, and nobody really said anything about facilitators. We honed in on different identities. We looked at this inner identity dating, but some people wanted to talk about sex trafficking and interracial dating, and I think there was something on religious identity. And I think that it's interesting that our group last year, we had such a different group dynamic that we weren't really looking at ourselves. We were looking at the identities and really like understanding the process of dialogue and the reason behind it. But this year, our group has just so many. I feel that this year the PDF group is a lot closer, but also we have a lot more issues within our group because of the identities that we represent, and I think just the people that we are. I think we've found that we are looking for different things in this process than my group was last year. So I just think it's so interesting that all of us really looked at this idea of vulnerability and facilitators and opening up in that space and creating that safe space and what that means. And so I definitely think it has to do with the class thus far and the group that we have and the things that we've talked about and the hurdles we've jumped. But I thought it was really cool, and it was easy to pick a topic because it was the same realm. We just had to really focus in on triggers. So I'm feeling good about the research. I'm glad that we get to work on it in class. I am confident that we'll finish it all on time and that the presentations will be great. I'm stoked to hear everybody else's ideas and process, and I think that it's a good component, even though it's a lot of extra work and time and balancing and organizing that I didn't think that we would have, and I was a little frustrated that got sprung on us, but honestly I'm really glad that it did, because I think that this research component is so important to the future of my life and probably many people in the room's lives, and I think it's really applicable for us as people and our careers. So I'm glad that it is a component, and I'm glad that we're working on it. And although we had so many complaints about it and we were really unhappy with the changes, I'm glad that that Becky and Lisa and Rachel really worked it out the way it is going to happen, because it's not too much extra work, but it's enough to get something out of it, I think. So I'm feeling good about the research, and this is the end of video log 5.